Welcome to Quincy in Focus, Quincy Access Television's news magazine show. My name is Kim Merrifield, a member here at QATV, and I'll be your host for this month's edition. 2025 marks a special year for the city of Quincy and has already been off to an eventful start. Our community has been more active than ever as we enter into this year of celebration and reflection. Legacy is an ongoing theme in our celebrations as we come together to honor those that have paved the way. Recently, the Terrell Room held a commemorative brunch in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., featuring former Boston Police Commissioner William Gross as guest speaker. Here are some highlights from his speech.
You know, today the entire nation is celebrating a legacy of a great man. Just as you saw in the film, he stood for justice and equality. He stood for human rights. And that's tough to do when you have to speak for those who are being tread upon, when you have to stick up and believe in what God taught you. Be kind to each other, love each other. In 1964, he came back to Boston to speak about justice and equality for all of our neighborhoods, but specifically what was happening in the neighborhoods of color. This man, because of his strong foundation, went throughout the country fighting for justice and equality. And it was no easy task. As he marched towns, as he marched in cities, number one, he wasn't alone because of God, but he marched with other people that had a solid foundation and that believed that we're all God's children. We should all be treated the same. We should all be respected. And in our great nation, which everybody helped build. You look around this room, you're going to see all God's children, all ethnicities. We all built this nation. We should all be treated the same. And in 1964, because of his tenacity, his work ethic, him working with everyone, him being the chief for justice and equality and human rights, he was granted the Nobel Peace Prize. He would often speak at the State House, again, about the inequality and injustices that were being done. From there, he went through Roxbury, Grove Hall, through the South End. 20 to 23,000 people. They marched through the neighborhoods of Boston, to the Boston Common, to the bandstand, where he delivered a speech. Folks, I'm talking about foundation because I want you to know your self-worth and that you all are foundations for somebody. You are a foundation for someone that you believe in. You are a foundation for some people that don't even see their future yet, but you're visionaries. You can see it for them. But again, 23,000 people at the Boston Common, 23,000 people peacefully discussing what needed to be done in Boston for change, what needed to be done in the world for change, what needed to be done for all God's children. Right now, a statue stands there, The Embrace. The Embrace celebrates when Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. won the Nobel Peace Prize as he embraced his wife, Coretta. Isn't that something? As we move forward to 400 years, let's remember the importance of a strong foundation. Parents, teachers, reverends, above all of that, God. Remember the strong foundation. Remember your self-worth. Remember the spirit of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm going to quote one of my favorite. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep those foundations going. God bless our great United States. God bless the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and God bless Quincy, and God bless you all. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you.
A new exhibit unveiled at Old City Hall takes a look back on an important milestone in our city's history, taking place 100 years ago in 1925. In this next clip, we'll get a preview of what that exhibit has to offer.
So it's a beautiful space. Bob Damon, who I know you're going to be talking to very soon, is a great historian, does great work, and we asked him to put something together for this room, and he blew me away. He did a fantastic job. Made sense. Take the 300th, what happened at the 300th anniversary, which was remarkable. I mean, there were thousands involved in that whole effort. I think it was all done in 141 days. Yes. Huge pageant at Pageant Field. They actually built roads and railroads up there, reenactment of very significant special events in the course of our history. The granite ball was given to the city at the same time. So it's pretty cool. I think they did all the planning and everything was done like in 140 or 41 days.
What is it that you'd kind of like folks to take away from the Quincy 400 plans? You know, what is it that you kind of want them to know about Quincy going forward?
Well, a prelude to that is, as we've talked about, during my tenure, we've been through a lot. My first 2 terms was the financial meltdown in the world, through that fiscal crisis. I did the worst flooding, we did the worst snow, we have had COVID. And not that I don't enjoy every day, and I do, but as a community, let's have some fun. Let's enjoy this. This is our history. This is who we are. So let's enjoy it.
So the exhibit, is it laid out in a chronological order for the Quincy 300 that
Well,
took place?
it's sort of it's kind of more of a narrative story,
Oh,
a
okay.
little introduction to 100 years ago, a little bit about the organization that happened, and then you move into some of the big deal events
Yes.
that were happening at the time.
So, and we're going to highlight, I guess, 3 of them today. The pageant, right?
Yep.
The parade, and then the gifting of one of the granite balls to the city.
Yes.
All right, so let's take a tour.
Okay, so this is one of the main pieces of promotional art for the celebrations in 1925. This poster was created by a well-known commercial artist in Boston. His name was Charles Capon. And this poster would be sent out, according to the Patriot Ledger, or an article in the Patriot Ledger, within 60 miles of Quincy. They sent these posters out to be hung up in local stores, restaurants, things like that, as a way of advertising and marketing the celebrations.
We are standing in front of a picture of what is undoubtedly one of the most iconic images of the city of Quincy, one of the granite spheres, right?
Yes, yep.
Little known fact that I just learned actually is that it was gifted to the city during the Quincy 300 celebration.
Yes, it was on Friday afternoon of the week. This was sort of the warm-up act to the fireworks and concert that were going to happen on Friday night at Pageant Field. The Granite Workers Association, or Granite Manufacturers Association technically, gifted this massive sphere, 6 foot in diameter, to the city of Quincy. It had to be roughed out into the sphere shape, and then would be brought to this building here on Water Street to be turned and to be polished to create the 6 foot sphere that we have today, right outside our window here in front of both Old City Hall and New City Hall.
So a big part of the Quincy 300 celebration back in 1925 was a 3-mile-long parade featuring something like 182 floats, including about 10,000 participants and 140,000 plus spectators. So, Bob, that was quite a party.
It was, and it really truly was the big deal.
Yes.
Of the celebrations in many ways. But I hope what folks are able to take away from this is just a little bit of what life was like in 1925 and how people in Quincy came together to celebrate this community that they lived in with one another and the ways in which they did that.
In our next segment, we'll take a look at the Early College Pathways Symposium, held in conjunction by Quincy College and Quincy Public Schools, recognizing the students and faculty members that have participated in the program. Here are some words from the speakers.
Today we recognize and celebrate our first group of Accelerated Associate Degree Pathway Program Grade 9 students. Let's start with a round of applause for these students. The Accelerated Associate Associate Degree Pathway Program is a unique opportunity for dedicated, hardworking, and goal-oriented students to complete their associate's degree at the same time that they graduate from high school. Built on the strong collaborative partnership between Quincy College and Quincy Public Schools, it is my pleasure to present to you today our Accelerated Associate Degree Pathway Program students. So please, another round of applause for these students.
Good afternoon. My name is Gianna Beck, and I am a 9th grade student at North Quincy High School.
My name is Alexis Burton, and I'm a grade 9 student at Quincy College High School. My name is Gisela Flochi, and I am a 6th grade student at Quincy High School.
My name is Danielle Yushai, and I'm a 9th grade student at North Quincy High School.
And my name is Nevaeh Lee, and I am a grade 9 student at Quincy High School.
Good afternoon. My name is Ezekiel Marcelin, and I am a grade 9 student at Quincy High School.
My name is Kiara Moore, and I am a grade 9 student at Quincy High School.
My name is Eliana O'Connell, and I'm a grade 9 student at Quincy High School.
My name is Renaya Perry, and I'm a grade 9 student at Quincy High School.
My name is Noble Urapipon, and I am a grade 9 student at North Quincy High School.
My name is Mark Yen, and I am a 9th grade student at North Quincy High School.
My name is Janaya Davis, and I'm a 9th grade student at Quincy High School.
We very much appreciate the ongoing support and partnership of Quincy Public Schools under the leadership of Superintendent Mulvey.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here with you on such a great day. Today marks the beginning of an important tradition that celebrates our dedicated Quincy Public Schools students who are pursuing their postgraduate plans. Quincy Public Schools honors individuals embarking on the fulfilling journey of helping students overcome obstacles and achieving their dreams. Quincy's Accelerated Associate Degree Pathway Signing Ceremony mirrors the signing ceremonies for student athletes committing to colleges or our future student educators committing to serving and educating our future students. This event celebrates grade 9 students who are pursuing an associate's degree in liberal arts, while at the same time meeting all, and I say all, high school requirements. What an amazing opportunity. Partnerships are the bridges that connect dreams to reality. They remind us that no one achieves greatness alone, that the greatest successes are built on the strength of collaboration and trust.
I just want to say, these two unbelievable educators. We started this, how many years ago, Kevin? We talked maybe 4 years ago, we talked about early college and thinking what difference it could make to so many families, pardon my back, and students in the Quincy Public Schools. But I have to tell you, Megan and Keith stuck with this, and we've had so much success with Kevin, with Dr. Perkins, really work, and our principal and assistant principal, by the way, in I don't know if he's here, North Quincy, principal. No, all right? But we've had some tremendous progress, and it doesn't happen without site support. It doesn't happen without administrative support. And then the college as well, so many of our college people as well, and so many people that work so hard in the site with our students. It all comes together. It all comes together, but it doesn't unless you have the right people in place. And to my right and to my left, are the right people that make a difference every single day. So I wanted to thank them very, very much. Okay.
In a recent community meeting, Mayor Koch and his team discussed the plans for the renovation and expansion of the Squantum School building, detailing some of the work taking place on the site. Here are some segments from that speech.
Just a couple of comments. One is, as you all know, this was talked about for a long time. We've made great progress across the city with our schools, with a lot of infrastructure. And no matter who I talked to after we finished Southwest, we said, what is the next school? Everybody agreed Squantum School because of the age of the plant, the condition of some of the part of the building, they're not up to code, ADA, et cetera, et cetera. So what we see today is far more than just what a school building project is going on, but it's really a public works project as well. I think we have the best team in place, and you're going to be hearing from them shortly going through this. And I just ask everyone's patience during the coming months because it's going to get a little dirty, it's going to get a little messy, it's going to get a little noisy. But at the end of the day, the product is going to be pretty incredible for this community. So we're always going to be available. You'll hear from the team shortly after Councilor Harris, but they'll introduce all the players involved. As I say, we get the best team you could have in the Commonwealth. And over the years, the School Building Authority has commented to other communities, look what Quincy does follow that model, and you'll be successful. So I'm proud to say that, not because of me, because all the people that are involved in this project and make this happen.
This is a great New Year present as far as I'm concerned. The fact that we're now, this is 9 years in the making, when the mayor and we introduced it on the council. Every year we had to renew our application. They kept digging, the team, Paul Hines' group, the finance folks kept digging to make sure this school was going to be, it was going to take place. And this, when you see the plans, you already see the plans online. But what's going to take place is it's going to really make the learning here in Squantum such a better experience for the kids. Our community is going to look so much better than it was maybe 5 years from now, 4 years from now, when it's all settled and done. And I hope I'm around to see that.
We're just asking for your cooperation. We're asking for your understanding. We're asking you not to park in front of your neighbors' driveways. And through it, we will get together. When we get to June, I promise you, September and the next 2 years of construction will be less impactful than the next 6 months are going to be. So if we get through that together, we'll be in a good place.
We are on target for having a green building, all electric. We're targeting net zero. And part of the reasons for that is part of the city's goal. You'll see a lot of things happening at this point, but one of the things that was mentioned by Paul is that we are preserving a lot of the trees as much as possible. Open space and green space is very much important part of the design, as well as circulation. So some of the new circulations that you'll be seeing at the end of the day really is that there's going to be ample staff parking, separated and safe circulation with bus and van, as well as parent drop-off. But not only that, but a lot of walkers as well. So there's going to be some adjustments to the crosswalks that will allow for safe arrival as well as dismissal from the school. Accessibility is part of the design, stormwater, and as well as preserving the parkland. So there are some upgrades and improvements that are going to be part of the project that you'll start to see in this plan here. And throughout, part of it is also going to be maintaining the existing playground. As mentioned, a good portion of the playground, as well as the park, will remain open during construction.
Quincy Public Schools hosted a number of seasonal concerts throughout the district, giving local students a chance to showcase their musical talents. Here are some highlights from those performances. Koch recently gave his State of the City address, celebrating the achievements of Quincy residents both past and present. In this next clip, he shines a spotlight on some notable examples.
I wanted to help kick off this year of celebration. But talk about how we got here and just a few of the stories of some of the people that made Quincy the place that we love so deeply. Grace Eng Toy's family moved to Quincy in 1912, opening the first successful Chinese restaurant, the King Joy. Grace's sister became the first Asian American to graduate from Quincy High School, and Grace would be trained as a nurse at Quincy Hospital. She enlisted in the Army and served in Europe in World War II, returning home and then volunteering to serve in the Pacific after VE Day. After the war, she became the first Asian American to be hired by Quincy Public Schools, serving as a school nurse at Quincy High for many years. Service to her city, service to her country, and the start of one of the great waves of immigrant communities that color so much of our history. Turkish immigrant Avidas Zildjian was running a candy store when he received a word from his uncle, still in Turkey. It's time for you to take on the family's centuries-old tradition of crafting quality cymbals for musicians. Avidas opened a small factory on Fayette Street in North Quincy in 1927. At about the time that Zildjian was breaking through, Richard Anthony Mansour was growing up in the tight-knitted Lebanese-American community in Quincy Point. Learning music from his family members, Richard would transform the Middle Eastern style of music he learned in a way that would revolutionize guitar playing the world over. As Dick Dale, he essentially invented what would become known as surf rock. Now, we all know Ruth Gordon as a member of Hollywood, the royalty in Hollywood, during its earliest days through its golden age. We know she had some of the longest, most enduring theater, film, and television careers lasting 70 years. Howard Johnson, he decided to double the amount of butterfat, sounds pretty good, in the recipe for ice cream. He sold in his small shop on Beale Street in the 1920s, roughly where the Wellison Tea is there on the Beale Street side. The increased sales made enough for him to open a second shop in Quincy Square, a third, and then ultimately more than 1,000 restaurants across this country. Not long after Howard Johnson made a national name for himself, William Rosenberg pulled up to the old Boston Gear Works in Norfolk Downs to sell coffee to the workers. He opened a donut shop 2 years later on Southern Artery called the Open Kettle. A few years after that, he came up with a new name by asking himself what people like to do with their donuts. They dunked them in the coffee. Dunkin' Donuts was born. This morning, I have not, thankfully, to some of you, I'm sure, rambled on about Quincy's true historic heavy hitters, the Adamses. I would certainly be remiss, however, if I did not note that quite likely none of these vignettes about our shared history as a community would have occurred or have been possible without the foundation laid by John, Abigail, and John Quincy. I'd like to think that in some way a woman named Harriet Wilson, a free woman who had been previously indentured and abused, took some form of inspiration from John Quincy's forceful and eloquent reflections on the evils of slavery when she began writing a story about her own experiences. That story would become, although it was not known at the time, the very first published novel by an African-American author in our nation's history. My friends, these are just a few of the people and stories that have shaped Quincy's story over the last 400 years. I hope they've been a little fun, perhaps enlightening, and even inspiring. It's stories like these and countless like them, continuing through today, why I love this city so much.
That's all for this edition of Quincy in Focus. If you would like more information about Quincy Access Television or are interested in becoming a member, please visit our website at qatv.org or give us a call at 617-376-1440. This has been Kim Merrifield, and thank you for watching Quincy in Focus. Till next time, bye for now.